It's the Fellowship of the Geek Show, a weekly podcast about comics, the comic book industry, and other geek pop culture. Music courtesy of Manny the Martyr. And now, on with the show!
Hey there, everybody. It's the Fellowship of the Geeks podcast. My name's Thomas Chick, and joining me for this episode is Mike Marlowe.
Hey, gang.
Les Webster.
Hello.
And Liz Newman.
Hello, everybody.
How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Good as can be.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. My dog in the background there.
All the time.
That is awesome.
He's just glad we're doing good, but he's not doing so great.
Good old Taco. Always good for a comment.
Hope everybody's doing okay out there. So what's been going on in your corner of the galaxy?
Oh, man. Well, we just got through with the holidays. Yay. We made it.
We got through with a holiday.
One
the
holiday.
holidays are still coming.
Well, yeah, but my two favorite are out of the way.
Right. Fair enough. Liz is done.
Yep.
That's everybody.
I'm
That's
done.
that's the deal.
Yep. Happy New Year. We're done.
Sounds like Taco's done too. But anyway.
Yeah. But it gets cold, and yeah. But no, I guess other than the holidays, I spent the weekend watching a bunch of stupid movies. Of course, Thanksgiving wouldn't be Thanksgiving unless I watched Thanksgiving, so I had
Which
to
is on Tubi now, by the way.
Right.
I saw that the other day. It's on Tubi. I have no idea if the sequels are, but the first one is.
Yep. So I just watched the first one on that one. But someone in one of my horror groups had asked a question. They said that they had let their son watch a movie, and I forget the movie now, but it had a kid in it who died. And he was like, "Oh, I'm surprised they killed the kid." And it was like, "Oh, okay. He hasn't seen a lot of horror movies." And she had said, "What was the highest, kid count could you think of in a movie?" Well, of course, my mind jumps to Bunny Man. He walks into a school bus and everybody's gone. So, I can't suggest a movie without rewatching that.
Oh Lord.
So that led me down a rabbit hole.
There's a bus full of school kids in Trick or Treat too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the past, but.
Yeah, that's what it was. She had let him watch Trick or Treat.
Ah, okay.
Yep. It's like, no, I think Bunny Man has him beat on that, though.
Probably.
There was at least 40, 50 kids on that bus.
Ouch.
So there was a lot of kids, But that kind of is what set the tone for the lore of Bunny Man. So, but yeah, other than that, it was like, other than one or two, those two are probably the ones that stick out the most. Except Children of the Corn, didn't they kill all those kids? Lord of the Flies. Is that a horror?
Revenge of the Sith.
Ooh, yeah. That's not even a horror movie.
I've forgotten about that one. Yep. Yeah. So after watching a couple of horror movies, I switched gears, and I think it's CBS is starting to play the Christmas stuff, one night of the weekend kind of thing, one episode. So I watched, after Thanksgiving, I did have the turkey ate. I finally watched Christmas movies. Yeah. So other than that, I have not done. Oh, I did start a new series. I'd almost forgot about it because I just started watching it this weekend. It only has 4 episodes out so far, but it's what is it? Landman the new Taylor Sheridan series.
Ah,
Man, oh man. Um, I find it interesting because I'm highly aware of Texans and like small city life, and especially small cities like that where oil is the only thing going on or cattle is the only thing going on. I've lived in a lot of those small little cities, so you kind of can identify with the politics of what's going on being in a small town.
Mm.
But Billy Bob Thornton is just absolutely amazing in this. He plays, he's an oil guy, but he's the guy who comes in and like secures the lease of the land, and pretty much the hard part of the job you're doing like gang members and that kind of thing. So he's like the big guy, but not the biggest guy. He's got bosses that have bosses kind of thing. But I said so far it's been pretty interesting. One thing I didn't particularly care for is, especially after watching Yellowstone, um, on Yellowstone there's one girl on there. Her name is Beth, and Beth is a badass. I mean, when they first introduced her, just the look of her was like, you don't want to mess with that bitch. She's she's been a badass through the whole show and everything else. Well, there's a lawyer who has come in on Landman, and I think he's trying to make her the Beth, but she just doesn't have that oomph that Beth has. Beth, yeah, I don't know how to describe that. She's a little too soft to be Beth. So we'll see, because then she did surprise me in the last episode. Like, she kind of upped her game a little bit, so maybe she'll get there. But other than that, it's been really interesting. I have a friend who works out in the oil field, not here in Texas, but I think in Dakota. And, he's always telling me stories, but you never really think about it until you actually see it being done, of how hard that job is, and how very badly things can go in a matter of seconds. Um, that Billy Bob makes a comment because the lawyer, she's one of those, drives a Tesla and, doesn't believe in oil. And he just kind of lays it out for her. He's like, honey, he's showing her a windmill, and he's like, how much concrete it took for that, this windmill, and how much diesel and gas it took for the truck to pour that concrete. And, it's in your hand lotion, it's in your tires of your electric car. It's not just gas that we're dependent on. There's more products that this product makes that we're dependent on. And I don't know. I'd never really thought about it until he like slapped it out that way, but it's like it's true. It's more than a gas crisis. We've got it's in everything. Lotions and things you don't even think about.
the
Have a
bottle your
petroleum
lotion
thing.
comes in. The bottle
Yeah.
most of your products come in,
Yeah.
of every kind: food, cosmetic, everything, cleaners, all of that stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, he spit it out. And I watched this with a friend, and I told him, I said, damn, I said, he was kind of spitting facts, because you could tell she had never thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to clean the world. We do. I don't want to leave a dirty world for my grandbaby, but it's things that he was saying that you never think about like that. We can make our changes how we can, and make it better, but we'll never make the problem go away. It's too integrated into everything we do. So, but my friend had told me that clip of Billy Bob Thornton actually went viral, and it's another one of those things that when I get into a series, I'll go ahead and block it so it doesn't show up in my news feeds, and I try not to see spoilers that way.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that clip actually went viral, and it's like, good. I think there's some things that he said that was some harsh truth that needed to be said. It's easy to say, but walking the walk and talking the talk are two different things.
Right.
So,
It's a good idea,
hmm
but it's very idealistic, and
yeah,
it's not. It's way more complicated than anybody really realizes.
yeah. And you just can't shut down one oil field and go problem solved.
Right.
There's a lot that goes into it. So, but yeah, like I said, it's not a political show. I'll be very upfront and honest with that. It's not a political show. I think all of us right now are trying to get away from politics for just a little while. So this is kind of different, and it's more about Billy Bob's life, but he happens to be an oil guy, so we get to see some of that too. Yeah, pretty interesting. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend it. It typical total Taylor Sheridan work here. I don't know how he does it, but usually I can tell in the first episode of his stuff if I'm gonna like it. And this one hit all the markers and checked the boxes, and
He's got
only
your
four
number.
episodes. Yep, he does. And it's weird because he's all over. He's military here, cowboys here, this one's oil guy here, prison here. So he's just very, very talented, I would say. He knows how to tell a good story. So, this one is on Paramount. They're not hiding it from us like the ending of Yellowstone. I don't know why they're doing that, but it is on Paramount. Like I said, only 4 episodes in, so it'd be real easy to catch up with. And it moves quick, very quick.
Neat.
Yep.
Okay. Mikey?
Cool. So I watched something this week too. I didn't watch a bunch of movies over the weekend or anything, but I was busy doing other stuff. But I did watch a documentary, which I hadn't watched one in a while. I mean, other than the Roger Corman thing I've been watching, I guess that counts. But anyway, so I'm not leading into this very well. But
Sounding like me.
I'm just sort of babbling over here. The documentary I watched is called Spine Tingler, the William Castle story. And this was released in 2007. And it is, not surprisingly, basically a biographical documentary on William Castle. Basically the primary person they're getting information from, or at least is reading the cue cards, is his daughter, and she's actually pretty good. She whatever that interview was, she did it pretty well. And it's informative, and it's got the kind of the usual round of talking heads, and there's some interesting people in there. And any documentary that has John Waters in it gets an extra star, as far as I'm concerned. But they had Joe Dante and a bunch of other people, and it was fun. And it was, like I said, it was informative. It was about him. I mean, they talked about the movies and they talked about the gimmicks and all that stuff and how much of a showman he was. But it was about him, which was cool. I mean, to watch something just about his movies and the gimmicks would be interesting, but it would be different. This adds a little more human touch to it. He's a big old teddy bear, apparently, and a hell of a salesman, obviously. And I missed somewhere along the line in history. Somehow I missed. I was like, I might have known that, but I don't remember it for sure. He was actually the producer of Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That I did not know.
This was a period in his career when he was sort of trying to get out of horror movies, and so he was trying to do other things. And he had gotten a story jacked from him back in I think it was the late 50s, and it kind of always stuck in his craw. So he was always on the lookout all through his career for a story like like the one he missed out on. And one of the ones he found was Rosemary's Baby, and it was funny because he had desperately wanted to direct it, but the studio, I think it was Paramount, I forget, I'm not 100% sure, I think it was Paramount. They were like, we'll figure that out. We'll do our best to let you direct it. And that, of course, lasted until they started talking to Roman Polanski. And Castle was a little bit bitter at first and was like dead set on hating Polanski the first time he met him. And the way his daughter put it was he was too good a judge of talent, and was like, okay, I can't hate this guy. he's great. He's gonna make this movie better than I ever would. And so he handed it over. But the story that he lost, the one that he back in the 50s that he had wanted to direct and got basically stolen out from under him, was The Third Man.
Ooh.
Yeah, he had mentioned it because he knew Orson Welles.
Yeah.
And he had mentioned it to Orson Welles at one point, and Welles jumped on it. But yeah, it's a really cool story. The whole thing is well done. It's on Tubi, by the way.
Pretty cool.
Very nice. Okay, Les?
Mike, that was a good documentary. I remember watching it shortly after I watched the Forum series. It was fun.
Yep.
The what series?
The Corman series.
Oh, okay.
The one I'm watching now.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a good watch for me too.
Yep.
For me, I started thumbing through Facebook, found a couple of sites. One is Rerun Zone. If you go to Rerun Zone, they'll list things like the 10 worst movies, science fiction, or the 10 best science fiction movies and the like. The other is Past America, which does similar things like that. So to me, that's just a treasure trove. I can find crappy movies and have a good time.
That's cool.
That's mainly what I did, but I was thoroughly entertained.
Yeah, it's fun sometimes to sort of just grab a video and say, okay, what is this one Joker's opinion about the 10 best science fiction movies or whatever?
Right.
It can be fun to, well, one, you can potentially learn about stuff you've never seen, and two, it can be fun to just be like, oh, that guy's insane, or oh, I don't know what he's talking about, or that guy's crazy.
Yeah. I agree.
Compare his list to yours or whatever, or hers, however it goes.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, that's right. Well, for me, I've been still kind of playing around with the whole body cam videos on YouTube. Still going down that rabbit hole. At some point, I need to start climbing out.
It's a deep rabbit hole, apparently.
It is.
You've been at it a while.
Well, I mean, there's stuff every day. I mean, you know, there's stuff that pops up every day that's brand new. Plus the fact that, you know, YouTube's been around forever and this stuff's been out for a few years, so there's a lot to catch. I'll get into a couple of things here in a minute. I do want to spend a little time about something that I kind of posted in Discord prior toward recording. Another one of these that I don't know how this became a suggestion for me to watch, but it was, and I took a look at it. It's a channel that the creator is using AI to create trailers, movie trailers, or teaser trailers, this type of thing. And what was being offered to me was a 80s, I think they call it 80s Blumhouse horror version of Gilligan's Island. I'm like,
What?
I'm
I've not seen this.
I'm like, okay. So I watched it and I was like, the AI was okay. But I was like, you know what? This is kind of as crazy as it sounds. It was kind of interesting. Kind of doing a little bit, this is, kind of giving a little bit of a darker twist to the show. I don't know. We'll put a link to it in the show notes for y'all to check it out.
Sure, why not?
But I kind of like the idea. I think it could, if it's handled right, it probably could work.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I know there's times where it's not worked. Fantasy Island, but I don't know. It was kind of crazy. Like I said, I don't know how that became a suggestion for me to watch, but I saw that, and then from that, and we can put a link in the show notes on as well, is what they called an 80s urban fantasy noir version of I Dream of Jeannie. Where Tony is not an astronaut, he is a private investigator, and you're giving a Raymond Chandler vibe to the whole thing, except for it's in the 80s. And he's being haunted by these dreams of a female voice calling out to him, and it's Jeannie. And he finally discovers her.
So like some of the really crazy episodes of Magnum P.I. sort of thing. Interesting.
I've seen something similar. If you go on YouTube, you can find where they do music and do songs like Hillbilly Vikings.
Yeah. There's one I watched that's called There, I Ruined It For You. And they'll mix two songs together that should not. Like Johnny Cash singing Barbie Girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, but these are trailers that are totally made up using AI, and I kind of like the look a little, but I know AI is it's controversial with everything that's going on and all that, but I kind of like these ideas. At some point these shows are going to come back again, because that's the mentality of Hollywood. It was successful back then, it can be successful now. But it's like there's enough of a twist. I'm like, this could work.
Yeah.
You get away from the goofiness of Gilligan's Island and actually turn it into like
Lost.
Yeah. There were some comparisons to Lost. So yeah.
That's the obvious comparison, yeah.
Right. So, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as an original idea anymore, so it's all good.
Well, but if they do a different spin, then I'm okay with that.
Right, and it can work for sure.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of kind of landing on the right spin at the right time. hitting
spin.
the right audience with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been doing it for decades, so clearly it's working to some extent.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as they're not trying to do it as a cash grab, they actually try to put some effort into the damn thing. That would be nice.
It would be nice. It's nice when they do that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't always do that, but it's nice.
Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Let me think about some of the incidences I've saw through some of the body cams. There was one, and it's a fear I think we may all have. What had happened was this woman had placed an order online, and it got delivered to the wrong house. And she got a confirmation photo. Hey, it's been delivered. Here it is. And she's like, oh, well, that's not my house. So she goes over to the house that was delivered. And, well, we don't know anything about that. So, we'll keep our eyes out for it and all that. So she's calling the police because it's an order from Victoria's Secret. $400 worth of merchandise that was purchased that they're saying we don't know anything about it. Like, okay.
This can't go bad.
Yeah, yeah. So of course, the officer, police officer showed up. There was about half a dozen, and the lead officer says, "Okay, I'm gonna go over here to this house because I can see there's a ring there. I'm gonna watch the video, and I'm gonna see who picked up the package, and whoever that is gonna get arrested and go to jail." Well, they all scurry back into the house, and some point later, here comes the package.
Funny how that works. Huh?
It's been open, and this is a married couple and their adult daughter. It's been open, and we'll reimburse. We'll take care of whatever's out there and all that. That's the husband who disappears pretty quick because he's like, I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah, I told y'all not to do this.
So 15 items were ordered. There was only 10 in the package. And Moms goes, well, there's always this thing of, they said that this stuff's ordered, but it wasn't actually delivered. She's pulling this whole thing, and they're not buying. The officer's not buying.
Yeah.
It's like 5 items. They just shorted the order by 5 items. 1, okay. 5, no.
Yeah.
So, and the adult daughter, is a big. That's all she wears is Victoria's Secret stuff. So, yeah, you see where this is going.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, we're going to detain you. And of course, she starts having a fit, and you realize there's some history here because she was talking about. She was scared because she was on probation. Oh no, I'm not on probation anymore.
Anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like my entire life I've been on probation. I'm like, well, that's not red flags at all.
Right. So reassuring that you don't have the stuff.
So they asked the victim, like, you want to press charges? She said, yeah, I do. Because I already came over here and talked to them about it and asked nicely to have the package back, and they claimed that they didn't know anything about it, and then they did the same thing to you until y'all threatened to arrest them and take them to jail. Then all of a sudden, hey, here's the package, but hey, we're short.
Yeah, only 2/3 of it.
Yeah. So they all go back in the house and they find 4 of the 5. And she's like, I still want to prosecute. So they take her off. They take her off to jail. Guess where the final item was.
Oh, she's wearing them.
She's wearing them. Yes,
yeah,
she was wearing them.
No doubt.
But I didn't do it.
Well, no, that's the thing. She's like, I didn't know anything about this and all, and then it comes down. I don't understand that.
Yep.
I mean, and I was telling my sister, because I mentioned this, and she had seen that video, so she knew about it. I was like, several months back, I got something from Amazon, and I was expecting a package. This wasn't it, and I didn't realize it until I had opened it. And it was for a neighbor that was a couple houses down. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go down there. Here you go. Sorry that I opened it. I thought it was mine. I was expecting it, but everything's there, and okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. Not a problem. Have a good day. How easy that was.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially around the holidays. I have a neighbor a couple of doors down that she does a lot of Amazon shopping too.
Yeah.
And like a lot of our packages got mixed up. I took her packages back and, I don't know where yours are. No. That's not how we play this. I have a picture of your porch with my stuff, Yeah. We got it back, but it was the whole idea of, I'm here returning your stuff.
Right.
I could have been like you and kept it because I think actually what I was looking for, it was a little, probably something for the dogs. It was cheap, so it was like, it ain't worth all this, But you will give me my stuff. Yeah, our neighbors feel better than me. I should have sent him down there.
Well, and it's a good thing that these companies do that they'll take pictures and say, hey, it's been delivered. Here it is. And it's a good thing they do that.
Mm-hmm.
I opened my door one day and there's a whole Walmart order sitting there. And I kind of looked at it and it looked like breakfast stuff. And it's like, I'm just going to leave it right here.
I remember
came out
talking
10 minutes
about
later. Yep. Yeah. And it's gone. So it's like, I didn't know who it was meant for, but. And I'm sure they called Walmart and got a refund because Walmart's good about that. They'll automatically refund. So she got free breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. I don't like a thief.
That was kind of an interesting episode because it was like.
Yeah, to be wearing it.
There was like 4 or 5 stories they put together, and another one was a woman who got pulled over because she ran a stop sign, and there were some issues with her brakes, and the registration was out back in November, and this is supposed like March or something. I don't remember right now. But the thing is all of a sudden she starts lying to them. Starting with the name. She gave them like 4 different names. And then she wouldn't give them the right age. And then she needs to go because first of all, what we saw in the video is she talks about her. She needs to go home because of her grandma. And here, and the female cop says, "Well, when I was talking to you earlier, you were talking about your husband having seizures. Mm-hmm. Now you're talking about your grandmother." And then at some point later, it became husband's deceased.
Because he had a seizure.
Duh.
Well, then she turned around and said he was having seizures. Like, how can he be having seizures? He's dead. Having seizures. Why didn't you call 911? Well, he needs to take his medicine and all that. And she said, well, good thing that your grandmother's there to take care of that.
Yeah.
It's just. At one point, she literally, as she's sitting in the back of the police car, handcuffed and all that. Please close that window so I can stop talking.
Right.
She just kept digging herself in further and further, and she had warrants for arrest anyway. So she had warrants for arrest,
which is why the 20 different names at the beginning.
And then there's lying about the name, lying about the age, and then all this other stuff, and just like, you're just compounding it, lady. Just shut up. Just shut up and go. Okay, I'll just. Oh God.
Hey.
And then she had the audacity to say, "Well, can you just send me off with a warning or a summons, like not with a warrants for your arrest? Yeah, that's not going to happen."
That is legitimately not how that works.
Yeah, it means we've done that once and you didn't show up.
Wow. It's just amazing at times. I think I talked about before, watching a lot of these shoplifters, and they get caught. The first thing they say when they're being arrested and about to go to jail, well, I can pay for it. I'll take care of that. Well, it's too late for that. You actually paid for it, and instead of trying to steal, it wouldn't have been an issue. But hey, this is the path you chose.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, on that note, let's take a quick break, and then we'll get into this week's discussion. And we're back. And as we're heading toward the end of the year, and of course it's now Christmas time, I figure we take the next couple weeks and kind of just do some discussion, just general discussions,
just chatting
related to Christmas. Just chatting. Yeah, nothing. No homework for you guys for right now. You know, no research or anything like that. So hey.
Oh man, I called 6 different travel agents. What y'all talking about? No,
what you talking about, Willis?
I really didn't.
Yeah, it's funny that you would have. You of all, out of all of us, yeah.
Yeah.
So and basically that's a tease of what we're going to be talking about this week. We're talking about this week. Is there a place that you would like, if you wanted to, that you could, that you would travel to spend Christmas at? Or if there has been a place that you have been to and you want to talk about that. Either way, it's fine. So.
Is heaven an option?
In the context you're thinking, I don't know.
Yeah.
In generic context, no.
Now, for me, it's nowhere exotic or fancy or anything else, but some of the more happier Christmas times that I can think of was in Colorado, when we actually had snow and you could be like, oh, we're having a white Christmas, not a brown sludge Christmas. Or 80 degrees.
You'll have Christmas like it, damn it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Move a couple hundred miles north and have a red sludge Christmas. That'll be fun.
Yay.
Hey.
Boy, that was a delayed reaction.
A little bit.
Yeah, they seem to go a little more out up there for Christmas than we do here. Like I said, you've got so much natural to work with that it's easy, you know. But yeah, I think I would like to go back to Colorado for Christmas.
Right. People here don't want to spray paint their yards white because that's the only way
Right.
you're going to get a white Christmas around here.
Or flock a tree. Who the hell wants to flock a tree?
Yeah, flock that, and I'm just saying.
Right. You know? I think we did that once. Because my thinking was it'll keep the pine needles on the tree.
No, it just makes a bigger mess on the floor when the needles fall off.
Yeah. Oh, to be that young and naive again.
To be young and stupid.
Right. Lessons learned.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then you get a kid who's allergic to one, so it's like artificial it is.
Kid, hell, I got a wife who's allergic to them, so it's always been artificial.
There you go. So much easier.
Which is funny, especially when every few years one of her siblings forgets and sends her a live plant, and then the sneezing starts, and we're like, shit, gotta throw that out.
Why do you hate me?
Remind your sibling that their sister is deathly friggin' allergic to stuff.
Man.
It's fun.
Sounds like it. Merry Christmas.
It's a hoot and a half, right? What did you get for Christmas? Double friggin' pneumonia.
Yeah. Death.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. See, this is a fun topic. Well, fun. I'm gonna try not to be an ass, but that's difficult for me.
Right?
See, because not only am I not super excited about the Christmas season in general for several different reasons, I also hate to travel. So,
Yeah.
this is a fun topic. Though I say this.
You could blink your eyes and just be there.
My way of not being an ass is I actually sort of have an answer. And my answer is somewhere, basically anywhere, tropical. Because I really don't like being cold.
Yeah.
And so I would do the opposite. I would, instead of going somewhere cold as hell with a bunch of snow on the ground, I would head for the tropics. I would go find an island somewhere.
At least go somewhere with white sand, though, for a white Christmas, right?
I mean, sure, we can do that. No problem. I'm down for this plan.
Gotta stay for part of the season.
Yeah, we'll head out to the Caribbean and find a nice white beach somewhere and wrap some lights around a palm tree, just like that old TV
Spray
commercial.
Paint coconuts.
Oh yeah. Have our Christmas pina coladas and have a good old time with sunglasses and swim shorts on. I'm down.
Okay.
Christmas.
My wife wanted to join us for this topic, but I said no one wants to hear about you wanting to go to the tropics again.
Oh, and here I am giving you flashbacks, huh?
We'll just tell Gina, though, that it's been covered anyway. I'm sorry, Les, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I'm just getting a seizure. Thank you, though. No, I don't mind the tropics, but I've done that, so personally, I don't need to go again right now. I would like to go to Germany.
Ooh.
I would like to see how it's celebrated there. See what difference is between the two countries. Strangeness is there versus what we have here. We got plenty here, but
My mother-in-law just got back from a vacation over there, and she said that it's very pretty and nice, but there's a lot of fucking walking.
Wow.
And she's done it once, and she ain't doing it again. Now, Nana don't cuss very often. So
There must be a lot of walking.
a lot of walking.
She
She's
makes up
like,
for quantity with quality, apparently.
yeah, airports, to each site and everything. She said it's a lot of walking.
Okay.
You say that, and I've heard that before. I had a coworker a few years back who had gone to, I think it was like the Czech Republic. They had done like an Eastern European tour thing, and she came back and she was like, "Yeah, we walked a lot."
I think that's what they
I
did, the
think it
whole tour.
might just be a Europe thing, unless you're in
Yeah,
the Alps, in which case you're riding in them gondola
that's
thingies. I forget what they're called.
probably why they're all real skinny.
Probably.
And then I was surprised because she said France, the food sucked. I was
Uh,
like, wow.
I suspect some of it is an acquired taste, is the deal.
Yeah. Or bad restaurants, because she's like, I
Maybe.
normally love French food. She says, but they put the sauce on everything.
Well, that's what you get for telling them you're an American. They put
Yeah.
ketchup on it for you. You're welcome.
But out of all of it, she did say Germany was the nicer one.
That's good to hear.
They have beer there, too.
Lederhosen.
That's even better.
No.
And
See, I'd want to go in October and stay till Christmas.
right, that's the deal. You go for Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Real beer, not this American stuff.
Mm-mm.
'Cause that's the
They
old,
laugh at our American beer.
yep, just like the old joke goes. American beer is like making love in a canoe. Fucking close to water.
Ba-dum-bum.
Where would you go, Thomas?
Well, I mean, I'm not much of a traveler myself. I can't remember the last time I've done any traveling. But yeah, I'm kind of with Liz. I would like to go just once to actually experience a white Christmas and not have it here, because God damn, we can't drive. We can't drive when it's sunny.
Well,
That's
it's
because,
ice when we get it.
we don't get snow here. We get ice.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I
that's
know.
hard to drive on
Sleet.
anywhere. But
hmm It's
Yeah.
pretty, but it's a bitch to drive on.
So yeah, I would go to Colorado so I could snow, the lights reflecting off the snow and all that. Just I'm sure it's very picturesque.
hmm Very beautiful. And as a kid, they have this place up there right off out of Pueblo in Grand Canyon.
Mhm.
It's called Santa Claus's Workshop. And it is so cool. I mean, especially as a kid, because everything is set up around it being like, this is where the elves live with Santa Claus, so things are small, especially when you're a kid, But in the middle of this park, they have this pole that all year long it stays frozen. I don't know how they did it or how they do it, because there is summer in Colorado.
then they have kids coming up and licking it.
You can. I mean, I'm sure I did as a kid.
Especially if they're double dogged there.
Double dog
Yeah.
dared, absolutely.
But see, it's not like a metal cold. This is like ice all the way around it. So it's, yeah, you don't stick to it, but
It's ice, baby.
yeah. But then that's also when I found out that Santa's reindeers could not have been guys.
Right, they're female.
They're female.
The females have the antlers.
Yeah. It's like, yep, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Blew my mind as a kid, though, because it was like, wait, what? She said, yep, that only the females have their antlers during that time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But the males have already shed theirs. It's like, wow. But yeah, I said it's pretty cool. They definitely get into the holiday. The only thing that sucks is as we got older, we would leave on Christmas night with the kids, and we'd spend, Christmas up there. And by that point, the day after Christmas, everything's gone, or, places are shutting down, getting ready to, start the new year and that kind of thing. So sometimes you miss that. And then sometimes you have the stragglers who will do it the last week of Christmas or, the last week of December. But yeah. No, we had families. We couldn't leave earlier.
What were you thinking?
Right? Can't have a wife and kids. What?
That's crazy.
We're actually supposed to go there this year.
Cool.
hmm I'll have to bring you back a snowball, Thomas.
Uh-huh.
Just go down the street and get a snow cone. That's not hard.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wouldn't be today.
Well, it's late. They're all closed now.
Uh,
Actually, I have no idea why there would be a snow cone place open this late in this year anyway, but there might be some around.
yeah, some of them stay open year round. We have like a little snowball place up here in the parking lot, and I think it stays open pretty much year round.
Cool. Good for them.
Yeah. We're more Slurpee people, though.
I can't do Slurpees. It's too cold.
I like Slurpees.
I mean, just
Especially in the wintertime because people aren't getting Slurpees, so we can always get ours.
right. You're not waiting in line.
Right. In summer, those are gone.
Yeah, my problem is not temperature outside. It's my mouth can't handle the cold.
Brain freeze.
Yep.
I like the cold.
Well, apparently you didn't like it.
But this weekend? No. I did not like the cold this weekend. I like it when I have a heater.
You like the cold on your terms. Okay,
On
gotcha.
my terms.
Liz
Yeah.
likes everything on her terms. That's one
Yeah,
of her
good
endearing qualities.
Yep.
Yeah, good
My
point.
terms.
It's my turn.
Yep. It's my bubble. I just allow y'all in it.
But keep in mind, we're recording on Skype, so we're not really that far into her bubble at this point. We're all at least a few miles away from her.
Right.
What would be your second choices?
Hmm. There's a commercial on, it's usually like on Facebook or Twitter or something. I don't know if it's AI or not, but it's a place called Lux. And it looks like they go all out for Christmas, like all out. I'd like to go to a place that does something like that. Everything's traditional Christmas,
I don't think we know what traditional Christmas is anymore.
No, I guess I should say an 80s Christmas.
There we go. Okay. That makes sense then.
Just the tree and the snowman and gingerbread houses and just all of the niche Christmas stuff, or is that kitsch? Right?
All of
Kitsch,
the other
kitsch,
reindeer.
80s was there was a lot of kitsch in the 80s, yes.
Yeah.
And you say that about gingerbread houses. My kid wanted a gingerbread house again this year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he and Mom decorate it.
That's cool.
I stay out of it. It's better that way. It's
I
the thing they
have
do together, so it's fun for them. But my kid's
I've
18.
never gotten the
so-
hang of it. I can color, I can bake, but I can't bake and color.
Okay, they're buying a kit. The thing is baked already. They're just
Yeah.
doing the decorating part. They're just pulling out the little things of colored icing and smearing that all over the thing.
Yeah. See,
And-
I'm not
and-
good at that.
You're not good at the decorating.
I'm not good at the
Just
decorating.
the baking and the eating.
Yeah.
See, I'm down
Just
with
the
that.
bake. And even some of the stuff I like to bake, I don't like to eat.
Well, that's not unusual.
Yep.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I bake it and give it away, especially around the holidays.
It's kind of scary.
What are these
Hmm.
things that you're baking and giving away? Because I might be interested.
Mm. I do a lot of cookies, a lot of candies, but the things I don't like are like
Candy
my
corn.
pumpkin roll. Everybody loves my pumpkin roll. Everybody wants a recipe. It's a family recipe. I can't give it out, but absolutely love this thing. And it's like, this is not that great, guys.
See, I don't
I'm
do.
so glad you like it, but
I
I
don't.
guess maybe I'm not a pumpkin person.
I'm not. I don't do pumpkin anything basically.
Yeah.
I catch a lot of crap for not liking pumpkin pie in our house.
As well you should.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because most people who don't like my pumpkin roll. So, but everywhere I go, it's, you have to make your pumpkin roll. And it's like, oh God, I wouldn't mind if it didn't take so long to make,
See, and that's the funny thing is because in Leslie's family, um, the kind of the holiday recipe is this kind of cheese Danish type loaf thing.
Hmm.
They call it cheese braid. I don't know that there's any reason to call it that, but that's what they call it. And it's I mean it says the very first line of the recipe on the top of the page is in bold and large letters, and it says this is a 2-day process.
Oh man.
So it's a good bit of work to make this stuff, but which is why it only gets made at the holidays because it's wonderful. I mean, like I said, it's basically a cheese Danish. It's
I mean,
awesome.
does the bread have to rise that
Yeah.
long? Or,
It's basically you make the dough and let it rise overnight.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That does
but
sound good.
It's a ton of work.
Yeah.
And yeah, everybody loves it. But it's funny because there's so many different little hilarious stories around this stuff. Because some people are really good at making it and some people are not so good at making it because it's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. And my mother-in-law gave up making it years ago because she was busy and she's getting up there. So it got delegated to the kids, and one of the siblings refuses to make it because Leslie's sister refuses to make it because her husband criticized it once.
I am that way too, though.
And
It's
so
like, nope.
Leslie, so my wife will make like I think she doubles the batch, so it makes like 4 loaves of this stuff. She earmarks one for her brother-in-law every year because he doesn't get one at home. So she makes him one. That's his Christmas present every year.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Little stories
So it's like a
that.
tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little things like that.
Mm.
See, my pumpkin roll, the base of it is a sponge cake. And so people, I mean, even if I gave you the recipe, there's a step with the eggs that if you don't whip it long enough, you're going to get a really heavy cake and it's nasty and then you can't roll it. Well, a lot of people don't want to take that time, which is also why I don't like sharing my recipes. But you got to take that time and get that fluff going because that's what gives you the airiness and stuff in your cake. So it's the difference of a minute easily, or even 5 seconds,
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's how baking is. It's very
Mhm.
precise, and you have to be very careful.
You have to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not a patient person, you're not going to be a good baker.
Set a timer.
Yeah.
Set a lot of timers.
Well, even then,
Right. And
recipes will give you a time, but there's a lot of circumstances that go on with that. So a lot of it's your nose. Once it starts smelling good, it's done.
Yeah, you set a timer and then you still play it by ear, and you have to. There's a feel to it a lot of times.
Or play it by nose.
Yeah. And there's a lot of that too. A lot of play it by tongue, taste it. I mean, sometimes you just have to.
Yeah.
Yep. Food is hard.
Yeah, it is. But there's stories of people stealing my leftovers from others and
Dang.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. And when I was working at the church, every dinner the pastor was, is she bringing her pumpkin roll? And it's like, God, if I don't, am I going to hell?
Right.
I would have to ask.
This is like
Call the Pope.
hours to make,
Call the Pope. Get a special dispensation. She doesn't have to bring the pumpkin roll this year.
But if you have, like when me and Michelle would make them, we would do them for like fundraisers and stuff too. If you get a good assembly line going, making, it's not a problem. But when it's just you doing it, it's a pain in the ass. And
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a while.
You just haven't conscripted enough slave labor lately, that's all.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember one year I got the bright idea that I was going to make these for all the kids' teachers.
Oh.
Well, James, yeah, poor little guy, he's got the bowl, and like I said, you got to whip the eggs for so long, and he's asleep, and he's just got that blender, that hand mixer, just held in that bowl.
Dang.
That's when you're like, damn, maybe I'm not such a good mom.
No, you just haven't pumped enough coffee into that kid, that's all.
Yeah.
Give the 6-year-old more coffee.
Or a Red Bull. Oh, man.
No, he might like that.
Yeah. When he was doing baseball. First game, and he's like, I gotta have a Red Bull, gotta have a Red Bull. He's like 6. So I'm like, okay, we stop and get him one. Man, that kid was all over the field. Bing, bang, boom. It's like we're never doing that again. Thank God he was out on a field and not inside the house.
It's a good thing this wasn't a bowling tournament or something.
Right.
Rocketing that ball down the lane. Bouncing off the walls. Red Bull may not give you wings, but it damn sure give you vapor trails after a while.
Yeah. Oh, that day it looked like he had wings.
Flying like an eagle.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's got to be a song lyric, doesn't it? I've never, ever had an energy drink like that. I'm like, no, I don't want to know what that feels like. I just don't want to know.
Yeah, I used to drink Monsters, and I don't know, one day it was just like, why do you like this? Your heart is racing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I gave those up. Started drinking coffee.
So much fun.
Yay!
What were we going to say, Les?
Ever had a Red Bull? Oh, I mean, not a Red Bull, a Jolt Cola.
Oh, I remember those.
I think I
Those
did.
are dangerous.
I did have one of those once, and I actually thought it tasted awful.
It tasted like a flat Coke.
Yeah.
It did, you know. I guess getting that much caffeine in a Coke made it go flat. Yeah, those were pretty good.
No, they weren't.
Well, not, yeah. They were better than Mountain Dew. And that used to be the monster, you know, was the Mountain Dew.
Sure.
So,
Sure, sure.
See, I like Mountain Dew.
I never could get behind Mountain Dew. I don't know. I guess crazy too. As a kid, I rather would have Kool-Aid than things like that. Although, give me a Shasta. Oh my God.
God, I hadn't thought of Shasta. Wow.
Those things were good.
What flavor?
I liked the grapefruit.
Grapefruit soda. Wow, I haven't had one of those. There was I don't remember which chain it was, which grocery chain it was, but one of them had just their generic brand that was a grapefruit soda that was really good.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of instead of Shasta, but it started with an S.
Yeah, I mean, it might
See.
have been, I don't know, but I remember we used to buy that when I was a kid. But
Says Squirt is also grapefruit.
is it?
Fresca. That's what I meant was Fresca.
Oh,
Fresco.
okay.
Yeah.
Fresca was
Yeah,
alright.
they say Squirt is um yeah, it's a grapefruit soda. I didn't know that.
Interesting. I didn't know that was grapefruit either. It's fine. I mean, I vaguely remember it. I haven't had one in years, but I remember it being fine.
I liked picking the grapefruit because none of my sisters liked it. And having 4 kids, one week it's your turn to pick, the drink. The next week it's your other sister. So I would always pick grapefruit because they ain't gonna drink that shit.
Right, they didn't want it. Right. You'd get
So
it
I had
all.
drink for a couple of weeks.
I am glad I didn't have such a competitive childhood. I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
Yeah. 3 older sisters, man. It was pretty ruthless. I had the advantage though because I was the baby. It got too rough and I could just go cry.
Yeah, this is Liz. She is tough and ruthless.
Yeah. I learned how to fight on the bottom.
Knew how to work the system.
Yep. Michelle never figured that out. Don't pinch me too hard, I tell.
Now my brain has jumped back and it's trying to answer Les's original question. Not sure if I could pick a secondary. I mean, again, my actual first answer is I would just stay home. To not have to go anywhere would be the ultimate travel destination for me.
Oh, that'd be
I
fun.
mean, that's just
Yeah.
that's kind of my comfort zone. I just in the house, not going anywhere. It's a crappy answer, but it's what I'm
Yeah.
most likely to do. I mean, we'll end up going somewhere for some Christmas dinner or something. I don't know. As far as I know, there aren't any plans yet. But I
They're
mean,
coming.
almost certainly it'll be local because the vast majority of the siblings are here in the area. So I think only one. I mean, she's the fourth of 5, and only one of the siblings has actually moved away and stayed away. So, and they come visit pretty regularly now. So whatever we do will be local.
Yeah.
And generally, I'm good with that. I'm good for a few hours. After that, I kind of want to go home.
Yeah. My social meter starts running low.
And we're now kind of the designated drivers too. So we are the closest sibling to the mother-in-law. So
You've reached that age, huh?
we tend to be the ones to go pick her up and take her places. Well, she actually still has her car and drives, which is wild for someone her age. But when there's like a family thing, it's just easier to just go pick her up and throw her in a car and go.
I thought designated because y'all were drinking.
Oh, no. This is, well, I say that. I was going to say this is not a big drinking group. It's some of these people are big drinkers, but no, I don't drink. Nobody in our house really drinks. My mother-in-law will drink a glass of wine and that's about it.
That's us.
There are a few people that are like whiskey aficionados and stuff, but even that, they don't go crazy.
We're not drinkers. Where else would you like to go, Les?
I would like to return to Alaska.
Ooh, I heard that's pretty.
It is very nice. I would just like to go up there. I've gone in the spring or late summer, but I would like to see what it is in the winter.
Did y'all do a cruise or?
Yes.
Yep.
And one of the ports we did, I got to take a helicopter.
Wow.
Got to go to one of the, blanking on the name, go see a ice fixture. We get to walk around on it. I would like to do that again.
Oh, like a glacier thing?
That's it, glacier, thank you. It's one of those that it's only seen in 3 nations of the world. That's that sort of thing. 3 locations that you can find that sort of thing. Kind of fun to do, fun to see.
Cool.
And so that's probably where I'd like to go.
Nice.
I heard that was real pretty. Carolyn did a cruise through there too. And she said the only thing she didn't like is they didn't stop long enough.
That's one of the tricks with cruises, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So everything was just so beautiful, you wanted to stay.
Right.
Yep. You're right.
I think our next cruise, that's what we're going to do, is the Alaskan.
Well, good. Be sure to go spring or very early summer. Because they kind of shut it down.
They keep sending me all these little booklets on, look at this deal. So Bill, I said, I think it's that time again.
I have a question. When was the last time you went on a cruise?
We went and did Cozumel, and then we did Playa del Carmen. But it's been a few years for sure, which is why I'm like surprised that they keep sending me stuff. But they always, we'll upgrade you to a suite and we'll give you this much on outboard money, and it's like,
You know when they won't upgrade you to a suite? When the ship is full because you're sailing in July because you're an idiot.
yeah.
That's what we did.
The good thing is, though, with them sending it now, you can book in advance, but, yeah, it'd be nice to do that again.
Cruise ship.
Yeah, but it's been a few years for sure.
Cruise ship life did not agree with me at all.
Yeah, I stayed on Dramamine, and then they finally they gave me, it was a bracelet, and that seemed to work better than anything. Because at first they gave me those little things you put behind your ears, and no, that just didn't. I don't know if that's supposed to be a placebo and tricky, but it did nothing. So after I figured out it wasn't food poisoning and I was actually motion sick,
Yeah.
I had a better time. And then, so the second time I knew, so.
Right, you can be prepared.
Yeah.
My problem was not motion sickness. My problem was more social, I think, than anything else. Like I said, it was our honeymoon. It was July. It was high season. The cruise ship was full. There was nowhere to escape to.
Yeah.
Except for a tiny little closet that they call a stateroom, or whatever the hell they call
even
it.
dining, they usually set you with strangers.
Yep.
I didn't understand that. It was like, this is supposed to be, high class dining, and I'm sitting with Bob the Slob here.
Right. I'm sitting there at a table set for 8.
Mhm.
And there's only two of us on this cruise together. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was, I don't know. I shouldn't go on. I shouldn't go off on that tangent, honestly.
We found the buffets were better. Get in and out, take it back to your room, or sit on your balcony. Or it's not called a balcony. What is it called?
Well,
I
I
don't know.
thought it was called the balcony.
Is it the balcony?
I
I
don't
thought they were
know.
calling it something else.
You might have been on a fancier ship than I was on.
Mm.
I don't know.
But yeah, I would like to go anywhere that's not America or Mexico. That would be fun.
I hate to break this to you, but Alaska is America.
Yeah, but it's far removed. It's like our second, third cousin, right?
Ouch.
It's like Cuba.
Ouch.
Or not Cuba, Puerto
Puerto
Rico.
Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cuba kind of took me by surprise there, but okay.
Right. I knew it was some island.
Uh-huh. And we're back to islands somehow.
Right. It's tropical.
Mhm.
Two of them voted tropical.
All right. On that note, I guess we'll go ahead and let's take a quick break and be back with Geek News for you. And we're back, and it's time for Geek News for you. In this segment, we bring a couple of news items to the table for discussion. And this week, it's Mikey and myself. And Mike, would you go first, please, sir?
Oh, sure. So this week, I am, since it's now the holiday season, I am bound and determined to turn this back to horror somehow, because that's just the way I am.
Right?
We have the delicious irony of having a horror movie that is scheduled to release on Christmas Day. So I couldn't pass that up. This is the remake of Nosferatu. It has been directed and written by Robert Eggers. And if you're not familiar, his first commercial film was The Witch. And he's gone on to do a couple of other pretty prominent movies. And so he's the one who is taking his inspiration from both Dracula and obviously the original film back from 1922, which will Freudian slip, which will star Bill Skarsgård in the title role, and the young lady who is kind of the focus of the film is being played by Lily Rose Depp. There are obviously other people in this. You get Aaron Taylor Johnson and Emma Corrin, and Willem Dafoe is also in this.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. The early reviews look positive. The article that we're going to link for this is one of those positive reviews. It actually goes into quite a bit of length, kind of describing the story, which I read through it. I'm not going to read it or anything. It's kind of long too, but it is pretty well. There's some. It is reminiscent of the Murnau film from 1922. There are some differences, and it sounds like from the sound of things, that's okay. It actually would be better to change a few things up and modernize things a little bit.
Right.
So I am cautiously optimistic here. Kind of looking forward to seeing how this turns out.
Hmm. I am too. I was happy to see this one released because, I mean, not a lot of people bring up Nosferatu. I think this generation probably only know who he is because of SpongeBob, which is sad. Very, very sad.
That's a little odd. I'm not
It,
sure I have
it is.
seen that reference. I would be interested in seeing that, but
Yeah. They make reference a couple of times to him and show like the 1922 version flipping off the lights, or then they brought him back in one of the newer episodes too. But yeah, I like as any time that we can preserve our older monsters like this, I'm all for it. Unless you just go in and just totally screw the pooch on it, you know. But like you said, a more modern adaptation might be nice.
right. And Eggers has, I mean, his movies. Like I said, The Witch was set in the New England in the 1600s. He did The Lighthouse, which is set in like the 1890s. The Northman is Viking, medieval times. So I mean,
Yeah.
he he knows how to time travel a little bit, and so I am optimistic that maybe he's going to do this right and make us
Cool.
give us a really interesting update on a story in a way that the was it 79 version with Klaus Kinski it did that to an extent, but I mean it wasn't anywhere near as sinister or
Yeah.
dark as the silent film was. That one I kind of have a special place in my heart for that one, but for the 22, it's one of the films that got me kind of hooked on silent movies, honestly. And so I'm curious to see how they handle this.
It's pretty cool. So this was on, I guess it wasn't the 22 version, but the older, or it's still an older movie, was on, was it Seven Goalie that was playing it? One of them was, it wasn't too far, it was after Halloween, which kind of surprised me, but it kind of surprised me they were playing it at all, because normally when you go for the monster movies, like I said, he's not the one that people go to, so. Pretty interesting.
Yep. It will be fun.
Yep. I like it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm interested in that movie myself. Speaking of movies, Sony has made available the first 8 minutes of Kraven the Hunter.
Ooh.
So you can watch the first 8 minutes of the film before the film comes out in an effort to drum up interest and get people into the theaters to see the movie.
Of what now? What movie?
Kraven the Hunter.
Okay.
It looks like it's available on X if you go to Marvel's or Sony's X page. I don't see any kind of listing anywhere else. But this is the film that's starring Aaron Taylor Johnson. We just mentioned him, didn't we?
Yeah, he's in Nosferatu.
Yep. And Kraven is the one of Spider-Man's villains. Sony's continuing the whole spinning off characters off of Spider-Man and try to have solo franchises. So, this is kind of interesting. I mean, it's interesting little gamble, but I mean, considering how unsuccessful the others have been, anything that wasn't Venom,
Yeah.
Maybe they felt they had to do this. So, we'll see.
I haven't heard a lot about it.
And I have a bonus news item. Paramount Animation and Maximum Effort, which is Ryan Reynolds' production team, are getting together to do a animated Mighty Mouse film.
Aww.
Mighty Mouse, huh?
Mighty Mouse.
Interesting.
Aww. I like it already.
And Matt Lieberman, who worked with Reynolds on Free Guy, will be writing the script.
Aww.
Interesting.
I think it'll be good. I think Ryan Reynolds for a lot of people is hit or miss. You either really like him or you really don't. I fall into the category of I really like him. When he stepped into Deadpool, just the decisions he made and the things that he stuck to his guns on, I think made Deadpool very successful, and I don't think it would have been without him. So I think, for one thing, he's always talked about his love for Deadpool. So I think for him to see that passion in another project, we're going to get the same thing. He's going to stick to his guns on a lot of things. He's going to make sure things are done a certain way to give that story that we really want. Because, he also knows the curse of bad writing. So, he knows what to stay away from. But I think he'll definitely do this one justice.
Yeah,
really cool.
I'm definitely excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
The Mighty Mouse
Well,
movie? Yeah. That was cool.
Nobody's done anything with Mighty Mouse for a really
Years and
long
years.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like a cartoon series back, God, a long time ago, like early 90s, something like that. That may have been it.
Yeah, they said 87 to 88.
Okay.
There you go. Very, very early 90s.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah,
I
cool.
liked him. Yeah.
I am
And there's
interested.
so much you can do too, because he was like a little Superman. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and since he's not been around where people will know his story and all that literally you could just start from the beginning.
Yeah.
You really could.
So.
His origin.
Yeah, it would not bother fans at all to do that.
Yep.
Because it's not like we get the origin story every 3 to 5 years, like with other
Right.
properties that we won't mention.
Or one that's well known either,
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm thinking, have they told us how Mighty Mouse got his powers?
I'm sure they did back in the day, but that's been a while.
Yeah, probably not. Probably just, hey, here he is.
Yeah, here
and
he
we
is.
accept it.
I mean, that's possible too.
Yeah, because he was also just like short clips in Rocky and Bullwinkle for a while, wasn't he? Or my... Because I don't remember. I don't remember there being like longer episodes. Now, when I say longer, I'm talking about normal
You're talking
cartoon
about like a
run
half-hour thing, yeah.
Yeah, but more of like a Looney Tunes kind of thing with
Yeah,
Mighty Mouse.
I think they were
Yeah.
I think it was just cartoons that they showed at the beginning of movies.
Yeah, which were like maybe 5 minutes long, if that.
5 to 10, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Dang, I'm excited about that one.
Yep. Could be fun.
Yeah.
All right. Any special shout-outs or mentions this week?
No, not me.
Mm-mm.
Nothing here.
Okay. We'll move on to our regular shout-outs. First, I wanted to thank Pop Goes the Culture for allowing us to be a part of a great podcast network. We recommend that you check them out. There will be a link in the show notes. We also want you to check out the fine men and women who are kind enough to spread the word of the fellowship on Twitter by retweeting our links. And that group is known as Podern Family. So the best way to check them out is just do search hashtag Podern Family. That's one word. Just scroll through whatever catches your eye. By all means, click on that link and download the episode. We hope you have a great time listening to them. I want to thank Manny the Martyr for supplying the music to our podcast. In our show notes, there will be a link to where you can check out some of their other compositions. Thank you guys, as always. And finally, you, dear listener, thank you for downloading and listening to today's episode. We value your feedback. Any comments, questions, complaints, observations, suggestions, what have you, please send them our way. Email address is email@thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. Or you can go to the website, go to the About Us page, and there's a contact form that you can fill out there. We do have a Discord that you can join. We post news items. We post stuff to talk about, stuff to laugh at, lots of other fun stuff. We do have a section there specifically for feedback. If you'd like to post your thoughts there, that's great. We have an open invitation on our homepage. Discord is free to sign up, and the apps are free in the app stores. Social media, we're on Facebook, The Fellowship of the Geeks. On Instagram, Twitter, and now Blue Sky, we are at Fellowship Geeks. Follow us there. If you'd like to follow our personal Twitter accounts, Mike can be found at Mikey Geek. Liz can be found at LN_geek. Les may or may not be found at Fake Les Webster. And I can be found at TomTCGeek. And from wherever you download our episodes, if you take a couple moments to rate and review the show, it would be greatly appreciated. Any final thoughts before we say goodbye?
Just thanks, everybody.
Yep. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate you listening, and we appreciate the support as always. And until next time, geek on, my friends.
We thank you for listening to the show. Comments, suggestions, and questions can be sent to email@thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. You can follow us on Facebook at The Fellowship of the Geeks and on Twitter at Fellowship Geeks. Until next time,